Join me in welcoming the father of the modern Republican Party, John Danforth.
Thank you very much. Thanks a lot, everybody. I am really happy to be back in Neosho and in Newton County and in southwest Missouri. I am just having so much fun being back here. I haven't done this in many, many years. I got out of politics really when I left the Senate at age 58, and I'm a few years older than that right now. Gene Taylor, one of my favorite all-time people in the world, Gene Taylor used to say, there are only 3 ways to leave Congress. 2 of them have to do with boxes, and you don't want either one of those. So I left voluntarily, I'm happy to say, and I've tried not to be sort of Mr., can't leave the public stage guy. But I have to tell you that I am more energized now about the Republican Party than I've been in a long, long time. And I hope you are too. It's easy to believe what you read in the newspapers and what you hear from the pundits on television. It's easy to believe that Republicans are just down in the dumps and that we have no future at all. But I don't believe that at all, and I want to tell you why. I think that we have a mission. I think that we have a message, and that it's very, very important to our country at this point in our history for us to deliver that message to the people of America. When Barack Obama ran for president, he said, I'm for change, and I'm going to bring about change, and it's change that we can believe in. And he kept using that word over and over again, change, change, change. And who can disagree with that? Because if all you're doing is using that kind of open-ended word, it's like a blank slate. Anybody can write anything they want on it. You want change, I want change, he wants change, good, we're for change. But he never really defined what change was. And now that he's been in office 6 months, now we know what he was talking about. And he was talking about a sea change. He was talking about the most dramatic change of direction for the government of the United States that we have ever had. He is talking about big government in the extreme. And I think that we Republicans now have a duty to put the issue before the people of our state and before the people of the country, and to ask Americans whether that kind of change is what they bargained for, and whether it is really good for America to continue in this direction. Because the change that Obama had in mind was doubling the national debt in the next 5 years and tripling the national debt in the next 10 years. The kind of change that he had in mind was for the federal government, you, me, to own General Motors, to own financial institutions, to be able to hire and fire boards of directors, to be able to hire and fire the CEOs of corporations, for the President of the United States to designate the Vice President, Joe Biden, as what he calls the sheriff to ride around the countryside and to make sure that state governments and county governments and local governments are spending money the way Washington wants it spent. So Sheriff Biden is supposed to police all that. Now, I think that this is, as I said, the most dramatic change of direction we've ever had in the country, and I don't think it's accidental. I think it's a matter of basic philosophy. 1 week after Barack Obama was elected President of the United States, his future Chief of Staff, Rahm Emanuel, said, you'll remember this, a crisis is a terrible thing to waste. He was talking about economic downturn, economic crisis in our country, and he thought and he said very directly it's a terrible thing to waste, meaning that when you have an emergency, it's not enough just to deal with the emergency, but you use the emergency to change the course of the country.